Good morning, everybody. It is the 15th of December, and we got a great crowd here, as always, with our snowbirds back. So we got a couple of videos to share today, and let's start with Tom. You got a video for us, please. Why don't you tell us about this?
Okay, yeah, we had a field trip up to the Tucson Botanical Gardens on the 4th of December, where there lights up holiday event, and so we wanted to capture a little bit of that.
And this is all from the field trip.
Good.
Okay. All right, let's see what you got. What do you think of that?
It's nicely done. It looks like a nice trip.
It was.
I would have liked to see how that kaleidoscope thing was from a little distance, because I didn't know what's going on there. Another shot of me?
Yeah.
Well, more of that.
Basically, at Tucson Botanical Gardens, just outside of the butterfly exhibit, they have this kaleidoscope, and basically what it is all the flowers in a circular pot, and what you do is spin the pot
Cool.
and look in through the lens and everything, kaleidoscope effect.
Yeah, so that was neat, but I would like to see how you did that.
Oh, okay. No, that's part of the.
You got what
the mystery.
Yeah, it is mystery.
Oh, I thought that was. the other place we went to, up north, Tucson. The Chul gave us a little piece of plastic to put over your phone lens that would do something like that too.
To
Yeah, to create
create the
like-
effects?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I didn't keep mine though.
Yeah, for some, since we, lost, our field trip leader that normally did to Honolulu, plus between doing, lights up at the Botanical Garden, we just did, zoo lights at Reed Park Zoo this weekend.
Okay.
And we've got Winter Haven, coming up this Sunday. We figure we got enough holiday lights, on for the group. Speaking of which, I think there's still a couple of seats left on,
Two seats.
2 seats on the Winter Haven trip by Party Bike.
There you go.
So, one of the challenges on this one was if you go to any of these, holiday light things, there's always Trans-Siberian Orchestra music playing. And it's all synchronized up with, different exhibits and everything. It's like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna be able to swing that. So I had to jockey around with some, story blocks music, so I don't have to worry about the.
The music was perfect, I thought. And it gave you a nice upbeat feel and Christmassy. That was nice. Did you loop that music at all or not?
Yes, it is.
Okay, you actually did a pretty good job. There was a spot where I kind of saw or heard it just a little bit, but it was still pretty nice. Wouldn't have, if you'd said no, I wouldn't have, I would have said okay.
Oh, no.
You got some time?
Well, I was gonna comment the other way. I didn't care for the music.
Oh, really?
Because I thought it seemed like there were two tracks and they were conflicting with each other.
Oh,
It's a matter of- Well, you
tracks.
had the one where the typical Christmas music.
Right.
And then you had that background in it that I thought
Oh,
I felt that they were competing with each other. So it's a matter of personal preference, but
I'm
it was annoying to me.
okay.
Oh,
I'm assuming it's just one song, right?
it was just one
And
audio
you
track.
looped it. So it's whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you have preferred something that was a little more downbeat, a little slower?
Not necessarily slower, but
Okay.
just not the two different, the one song playing and then the background music playing. And to me, at times, the beats were off. And so that was just kind of,
It
Yeah.
is,
go ahead.
Well, I think that's the problem you're gonna have
a
with,
lot of people.
you're not using the live, what's there. And the way you cut it up, it's gonna sound weird anyway too. You can have, interspersed, so. I think it's a great idea to pick something like that where you take out the ambient sound of the video and then just.
Oh, yeah, no, I understand why we did it.
Yeah.
Don, remember, you just hit your head.
When you see my next video.
Yes.
The coloring of the small letters at the beginning.
Yeah. Yep. They're fighting obviously with the background.
Yeah.
The other goodie that's going on too, there's a bit of, and I'm sure, are you editing in DaVinci?
DaVinci, yeah. And the problem is I couldn't do a drop shadow with that, particular title font.
Okay. Well, there's translucence in the lettering and that's what makes it hard to read too. You see how you're seeing through the letters here?
You can't change that, but you can't
Okay.
change drop shadow.
Yeah, I can change the opacity of it.
And could you select a different color?
I tried different colors and everything and,
I think
nothing
Yeah.
really worked out down in that
Yeah.
lower right part.
It's hard, especially when you've got lights and darks, you've got different colors in here that is gonna fit with the background.
You might want to just put another little square background in there then
If you use a preset on DaVinci, it's not gonna let you do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, the other thing you could do, just as an idea, you could start it with the image and then go to the same image and blur it. And then bring your text up that way. And then maybe that wouldn't fight as much with the text.
Oh, okay.
That's just a thought. And like I said, sometimes it's hard the text is moving too, so if he was gonna do something where he would maybe put some kind of a box behind it, it's gonna be a pretty big box and cover up the image. So that's where I think, okay, maybe you blur it and then darken up the image just a little bit. It helps the text pop a little bit more, especially when you can't do drop shadow.
You could go,
You know, I really like when people have gone from black and white to color.
Okay.
So if you did the background black and white
Mm-hmm.
with the lettering on it,
Sure.
text on it, and then went to color, people would have read it by the time you went to color.
It definitely would be an idea. I think the other thing that you have to worry about too, though, is you start getting into the lights and darks up here, even in black and white, that might fight. But if you can turn the opacity up to be a full 100%,
Yeah,
then I don't think you'd have that issue. But I think that's another great idea.
Yeah, so lead in with a black background, do the title,
Yeah,
and then transition into
or do the flip.
the color.
Start it with the color image, then bring it to black and white, and then bring the text in. You can do it either way.
Oh, okay.
I did see one goodie. You had your little, where is it? There it is right there. You see your black edging on the top and bottom of the frame?
Oh,
See that? So you need to just redo your zoom, so you get rid of that. That's the only spot that I saw. Good job on that. Okay, does anybody have anything else on that? All right, thank you for that. Joe, you've got a video for us, please. Why don't you tell us about this?
You know how I've said that sometimes you're someplace and you don't know what to do. If you get bored, you just start shooting a video. So I was at Showtime, and it just kind of started after I think Diane and I had a couple videos, and then I just started shooting after other people did. And I got to a point where I thought, if I did a panorama like right here, that Todd might care for a crowd count. You know, I thought that would be the best way. I mean, we kind of like to know how many people are showing up. So I had done the video, and I wasn't really going to do anything with it, but I thought, geez, I've heard about this Firefly when you can ask, you can tell it, you can give it prompts to see what you might like to do. And I don't understand that yet very well, but I did it with this photo, and I was so startled with the results that I thought, well, I think I'm going to put this kind of fragmented bunch of stuff together and bring it in here to kind of show and just to kind of share the fun of what Firefly can do for us if we want it. So I'll just let it go. And
Okay. Firefly, just quickly, is a Adobe AI product that works with Photoshop and Lightroom. And you basically could give it a prompt, and maybe there was a person in the shot, you didn't want it in the shot. You could kind of give a quick outline and say remove person. And then it will think about it, and then it gives you three options. And you can select through the three options, and if one of them's good, you say this is perfect. And if not, then you say, okay, try another prompt or something else. So anyway, let's check it out.
Ready, set, showtime.
All right. Ron, you want to tell us about your whitewater draw?
There was a zillion of them.
Our next video here is by Kevin. Kevin was not able to make it today.
Where even audiences in 1918 knew that cinema had its own tricks. Stuntman was a former.
Okay, sorry, I gotta hurry up. So Friday they have a balloon calling like
Little Minnesota Dreamer from Dougalistic Reporter. That does it for this showtime.
Please remain seated while we do an investigation.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay.
So it was fascinating to me that I didn't know if I had, does anybody here understand? We talk about this in other SIGs about the credits. Does anybody here understand how credits work?
Yes.
Yeah, kind of. I don't have
Kind
it
of,
though.
well, that's kind of how it is. It's kind of like,
Well, you
there's,
just, oh, go ahead.
well, so I don't remember at what point I learned that cost me 400 credits. I don't know if I had the choice. I don't know if it said 400 credits. This will cost you 400 credits.
Right.
Or if it said you just spent 400 credits. But what then was weird was I couldn't find the damn thing.
Right.
It went into a folder that I never go to. It was an Adobe file.
Sure. Well, you get with your subscription to Photoshop or Lightroom, you get 250 credits per month. If you need more credits, then you have to subscribe to Firefly. And depending on the level of credits that you need each month, you can pay a certain amount. I think I can't remember if you get like 4,000 credits for maybe $10 a month, $15 a month, something like that. And then you can go up from there and you can do unlimited credits. So like what I was talking about, we're doing something like that. It's pretty extreme with credits. If I would do something and say, just remove a person out of a shot, it's only 1 credit. So to do a Photoshop thing, when you get into the video and the AI and all that, now that's where you're really
That's why the 200 credits.
What's that?
That's why it was 200.
No, it's 400.
Yeah.
400.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyhow, so then I noticed that when the prompt was standing and cheering, having no idea what I'd get.
Right.
And then because I asked for cheering, and then I think that was going to be an additional charge or additional.
The sound of cheering.
I was feeling poor at that time. So I came up with the cheering elsewhere.
Yes.
But,
So with the cheering, that didn't actually happen.
Right.
We just asked for AI to
Right,
make it.
and you understand, nobody stood up for Todd.
I like this.
And then I also noticed, I did this, looked at this thing several times to look at it. It's just astounding how human
I real
everything looks. And even that it had one person a little bit different in the foreground.
Right.
Actually, she was seated in the back, but she kind of did a different gesture with her hands. And I also think I noticed that I slowed it down and tried to look to see if everybody had 5 fingers on each hand.
That's the big.
Kind of looked like it.
It's gotten better. Early versions of it, they would have weird hands or 6 fingers or 4 fingers, and it's getting better and better. So it's amazing technology to take these images, a still image, and do that. But it does cost money.
I was confused because, I didn't remember doing it. I was in your video.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll sleep to him.
And I thought, what? How did that happen?
Don't you remember hitting your head?
Well, I've done that before too, so.
Al did a good, lecture on that at his Lightroom SIG a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Holly, did you have something?
Yeah, I was just reading the latest issue of National Geographic. And they have a section on memory and how photographs affect our memory. And you said, I didn't remember doing that, but if you saw this video long enough, you would remember that, yeah, you did it, you just forgot.
Right, you created a false memory.
A false memory, right.
Wow.
Yeah, because I did the same thing too. Maybe this was a Showtime I missed. 'Cause I don't remember.
Yeah, it's very interesting technology, and I've used it for still photos to remove stuff and fix some things. And it really, I'd say 9 out of 10 times, it does a great job with what I'm asking it to do. And you don't have to give it big prompts at all either. And sometimes you don't even have to give it a prompt. You just, like, maybe I'm extending a frame, taking a horizontal, making it into a vertical. And all I do is create more space on the canvas and then do a marquee outline in that new space. And then it creates that new space for me. And it is pretty amazing.
So is the erase function on the Mac photo just like a piece of this?
I don't know.
Okay.
Is that in Photos, the Photos program?
Yeah.
I'm not up on Photos, and I highly tell people to get out of the Photos program.
Why?
Because it's a disaster and you can't find stuff and it's filling up your computer. Then you got to get more cloud space. Daryl had this thing where he just was trying to get stuff off the cloud and was having issues getting his files back. And it's I go to some program, whether it's Photoshop Elements or Lightroom or Photoshop, but go to something else, or there's that Affinity program, which is Photoshop Lite, and that's only like $50. Does a great job. But yeah, try to get away from Photos if you can for the Mac people. Yeah.
So on that program, if Joe didn't like what he got, do you still pay for that no matter what?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah.
You clicked it, you bought it.
Yep. And
Well, it's already done the processing, that's why.
so you're committed at that point. Yeah, I've had a couple of times where I've done the removing something or fixing something, and I click on all 3 versions and I don't like it. It's like, yeah, well, there was a credit. It wasn't 400 credits, but it was 1 credit.
So it's not too bad.
Yeah, exactly. Or then try a different prompt. So you need to, you weren't specific enough with the prompt, or you were too specific with the prompt.
So this has nothing to do with that. It's something I just experienced on my recent trip, because I have an iPhone, but yet a PC. And I know Kevin and I have worked with this and trying to download, and I've had issues with it. Ultimately, what I found out was I could just go from my iPhone straight to my SSD and just copy everything over and eliminate all that other nonsense of trying to get it from the iPhone over to the
Oh,
laptop.
good.
Yeah, it worked out well.
Well, that's a great feeling.
Yes.
It's SSD.
Okay.
Actually, I come part of what you said, and I helped another member out. They were trying to transfer the photos from they thought it was an iPhone. I think it was her husband's phone. Turned out it was a Google. And I suggested we had to kind of go from her phone to the computer and then back to her thumb drive. But if she had a thumb drive that attached directly to the phone, like most of them are USB, you can hook that thumb drive into your phone and it says, hey, I've got an external drive, and just copy your photos straight over. I think that's essentially what Todd's saying, but yours will go straight to a external drive.
Well, went straight, I had one of the SSDs, it just transferred it straight.
What is an SS?
Solid state drive, they're basically an external drive, but you don't have the actual mechanical wheel fitting in it. Scan just makes them, and
Yeah.
a bunch of companies
There's a
do.
lot of USBs that are thumb drives now you can get with the USB-A, which plugs into a computer, and a C. I don't know if they might make one for an old Apple, but you plug that into your phone and then just copy your photos over there.
Yep.
And then do what you want with them.
Go ahead.
Well, I just have one. This is in relation to Christmas lights. Has anybody been to 1321 West Calle de la Plaza? It's off of La Cañada. And this is not the subdivision.
Okay.
What subdivision is that?
I can't remember which one.
Anyway,
Yeah.
this address is located between Duval Mine Road and Sayurita, about halfway. You know where the Jehovah's Witnesses church is? On the west side going north. The very next right-hand turn is Calle de la Plaza. They have an amazing Christmas light, and I will have a video here next week to show you.
So we don't have to go.
You got grandkids in town or whatever, maybe it's a good place.
You give me the address and I'll put it in the summary.
Sure.
Yeah. Quick goodie. This is just to show you that generative AI thing out of Photoshop. It's what we were just talking about with the credits. This is a shot I just did 2 weeks ago. It's a horizontal shot, and I told the client, anything that I shoot with the drone, we can turn into a vertical. So basically what I did is I cursed it. So what I did is I created more canvas down here at the bottom. And then I did a marquee tool and said, add background. It added snow in. Did the same thing up top. Added about 6 inches and said, okay, give me the sky. And then I went back into Photoshop and I gave it a little bit of gradation to give it some interest. Now I could also, one of the first versions that it gave me had some clouds, which I liked, and I thought this is great. And I saved it for the client, but I also know that maybe they want to run some type up top, so they want to make this a full page ad. But that's just an example of, you can take an image like that and go in and make something. You could add, if you want it on the side, if you want to make it a wider shot, you could add a little bit more background over here, add your marquee tool, highlight it, and say, give me more background.
I think have them, doing like the hi-ho silver. Stand up and.
Yeah, I'm not spending 400 credits to make those things move. No, I've got video of that. So anyway, that's an idea of what, some of these things you can start doing. And who knows, maybe at some point with our club and we have Photoshop, maybe that's something that we budget in at some point. Don't know. We could do the unlimited, like 20 or 30 bucks a month. People could come in and they could go crazy. So anyway. Does anybody have anything else? All right. We meet again next Monday. It's Christmas week, 22nd. And then the club is not open on the 26th, which is the day after Christmas. So anyway, we'll be here next Monday. Please get out, shoot some videos. Daryl says he's going to have one. And let's see what everybody's doing. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye. Have a great week.